Championship weekend, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We greatly appreciate all of you tuned in. This is our weekly AMA session, our weekly fantasy football AMA session. We'll probably turn this into like something else, probably getting some other betting or some here and there with during the off season and such. But this is our fantasy football AMA session, brought to you by GLD. That's right, GLD. Promo code GLDGRUM. Yo, roll back.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, don't turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, nail it up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her when you're not.
Big ups to our sponsors over at GLD. Again, utilize promo code GLDGRUM for 30% off your whole order. Right now, we're actually running an offer as well. Any 2 chains and 2 pendants, $149 before taxes. All right, so that's another really good deal. Also, I want to shout out. I gotta shout out our brand new collaboration with Fabio Foreign over there at GLD. Yo, one of the biggest rappers in the industry right now, the King of New York. Big ups to GLD, Fabio Foreign, Rumboyz things. Use our fucking promo code. Want to give a big shout out for all of your daily fantasy player prop needs. Utilize promo code Rumboyz in all caps for a 100% match on monkeyknifefight.com or the Monkey Knife Fight app available on iOS and Android. That's right, the Monkey Knife Fight app or monkeyknifefight.com for all of your daily fantasy player prop needs. Use promo code Rumboyz for a 100% match on your very first deposit. Pat been getting over there. He always winning money over there. Mike wins money over there. Everybody, because the lines are really sweet over there. They hook it up. Also, big ups to all 22, our homies over at PFF, the brand new fantasy football format where you get to set a full 53-man roster. We're talking linemen, kickers, defensive interior, you name it. Get on over there. The fantasy season is not over. It has just begun. Start prepping for all 22 redraft next year. Might even start up some dynasty leagues. Who knows? Also, shout out to Champions Round. Play our daily dozens. $12 can win you $2,400 on any of our daily dozen games. So if you feel like you got the hot hand, you feel like you can hit 7 out of 12, turn 12 into $2,400. Use the link in the description. Play Champions Round. Alrighty, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Wait, what do I have here? Oh, got the Gator in the chat. He's like, I'm here. Like, no shit. No, I'm kidding. Hey, cheers to me. Cheers to you all, the Rumboyz and girls. What it do, dilly. Starting
off with a Coca-Cola tonight. Oh, look at there. Pat and I are on the same wave tonight.
Twinsies.
Right.
Are you guys gonna touch tips later?
All right, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a food.
It's probably tacos, but I'm.
Oh my gosh!
I was actually thinking about ordering tacos after this stream tonight. Really quick, you said I'm not in a fantasy football championship because the following players have a bounty on. I have a bounty on Latavius Murray, Ramondre Stevenson, Geno Smith, Mike Evans, Nick Chubb, Tyler Bass, Garrett Wilson, and Jason Myers. So essentially, your whole motherfucking team, at least half of the roster moves that you made. Maybe that's not their team in entirety, of course, because of injuries and such cuts and whatever else that had happened this season. But yeah, tonight is dope because we're going to be able to have some dope conversations. First thing I do want to say, all of you guys at home that check out the show or go back and watch like any of our content, the messages that I got during this weekend, like all the way through last night, of dude, I can't believe I'm in. Dude, I ended up winning, or man, like I ended up having an early win. Like I had some of you guys messaging me early. It's Saturday. It's like it's done.
Yeah, George was in my DMs and just constantly all weekend he was like, I'm done, and then he pulls it out
by 2.
Yeah, but then he's like, I'll stop blowing you up, blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, that's why my DMs are open for that reason.
Yeah, this week. Yes, absolutely. This week is a little bit more complex in terms of some of your starts and sits because teams that either A, are already eliminated, or B, are already locked into playoff positions, aren't going to be playing their studs, which means you are adversely going to change your lineup to secure your bag to get yourself a championship. All right?
Or they're going to play their studs and not their quarterback.
So it's
limit their studs completely.
It's going to be like super, super limited, bro. Like, so like you're probably going to sit Nick Chubb this week.
Are you sitting Devontae Adams?
If I have a top 24 option, yes.
I don't think Chubb's a sit.
Some friends of ours. Some friends of ours. Some friends of ours
has insight.
Have let's just say a whole fucking panel of them have been like, yo, sit against Washington this week, Nick Chubb.
He's 166 yards from 1,500. I don't know.
Who, Nick Chubb?
Yeah.
Well, I do have one thing to say real quick.
They're not running him like that.
I am friends with Robbie and I am friends with Gator, but right now me and Pat are not friends and we accept that.
Because you two are in a championship against each other.
Yes, we are.
I'm in one against Jay Batts. I'm in one against Jay Batts, bro. I'm so excited. That shit was written in the stars.
Did you see what happened in the Thieves League?
No.
Yes.
Jay Wall needed 8 points.
I'm starting Judy for sure. Judy is.
Jay Wall needed 8 points to beat me, and Herbert only got him 6. I beat Jay Wall after all that.
I figured some shit like that was going to go down.
And then guess what he did?
Hmm.
He traded McCaffrey to Jay, or I don't know if it was him, but somebody traded McCaffrey to Jeff Bell, so he could go against me. Like, fudge.
Hey, Pat,
Figured.
I don't know if you heard the breaking news right before I went on air at 8, so I don't know when it actually went down. But about an hour and a half ago, we have another wide receiver that entered into the NFL draft.
Yes, we do.
Keyshawn Butte.
I knew it.
He declared for the draft, so evidently he got some good information.
No,
we could have waited for that. We could have waited later for that. Leafs starting any Broncos. I think I heard you down there. Gator mentioned Judy.
Yep.
Judy's kind of like the only one worth the mention. That team is shit.
You could start Dolchich if you have to in the tight end landscape.
Congrats to Russell Wilson. He has as many touchdown passes as he does shitters in his home. Finally.
Do you think he has an office at the Broncos Stadium?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
Does it have a shitter?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I heard one of the first things that's happened since Hackett's been fired is he lost the office.
Hackett
really?
Fired this week. Yep, Hackett fired this week. We've discussed it many of times. I mean, Hackett was just a terrible fucking fit, and that was a terrible offense. I mean, yes, injuries plagued them, but like, they had 1,000,001 fucking tight ends. Like, you weren't taking advantage of the receivers that you had even early in the season. Did not take advantage of the things that Russell Wilson could give you. It's like this dude did not watch anything that happened throughout his career in Seattle. And I understand different coach, different philosophies. This is your first time doing the job. Don't you think that you should probably tailor it towards the quarterback that's coming in?
A $250 million quarterback?
Yeah, and not just what you want to do. We knew we knew that he was going to be gone in week 1. I remember us even saying it on this broadcast. or not on AMA, but we said it on their first game. We were like, this team is about to, like, they are not going to be good. Like, you did nothing to favor Wilson. Like, it was just bad. It was bad. Everything was bad. Offensive line fucking sucked. Everything sucked. Just blow up that whole offense, give it a whole redo. You keep Russell Wilson. You rebuild an offensive line. Get your running backs back healthy. Get Melvin. Well, Melvin's already out. Never mind. But yeah, you need to get some healthy ass running backs. And Javonte probably ain't gonna be it. Carr being benched. How do you guys feel about that?
I personally thought it should have happened. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but I think he's gone after this year. And they even said that part of the reason they're doing it is so they can make sure he's healthy, just in case they do get a trade offer.
And if he gets injured, he's guaranteed $40 million for the next year.
And injuries guaranteed $40 million. And he's already said he's not going to be he's literally leaving the team for the rest of the year, so he doesn't cause any distraction. So this is, I don't think, just a one-sided. I think they talked about it. I don't think this was a blindside.
It was a long, long time coming.
But sounds
like a country song.
Didn't number 17 say that he was going from one Hall of Famer to another?
Well, he said that so that when Aaron Rodgers comes here next year, he will go from one Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer, back to another Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I heard that Brady. I have already heard the Brady name,
and that's fine too, because then it'll be one Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer. I mean, how are you look at it?
Honestly, so okay, and I've been seeing it all over the internet today. Oh, for all we know, because so there's this crazy stat: 8,262 days since Brady had, or that total that Brady has been in the league, or like not playing football and playing football, or some shit like that, or like in the NFL, not in the NFL, or like what it is. The man has lived 2 lifetimes.
Comparing
in and out of football.
Comparing the amount of time that he's been in the NFL compared to the amount of time that he's not been in the NFL.
Yeah, he's actually been in the league. He's been in the league longer than he's been out of the league. Lifetime.
Today marks the exact number of days. I posted on my Facebook page. That you probably go see it or something. But yeah, I posted it there, and yeah, it was wild stat. But I bring that up because I've always said like dude, just retire. If he goes to the Raiders, it'll be the most Raiders narrative thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't winning for the fucking Raiders.
I don't know what the solution is for the Raiders. I look at that team and I see a lot of great pieces, and I don't think Carr is the problem. I feel like Carr is getting the scapegoat treatment here.
But let me ask you this. There's been a problem with the Raiders before this year.
There's been a problem with the Raiders for 18
years. Before Carr. There's been a problem. Exactly.
The Raiders have had issues for the last 18 years.
Oh, yeah, they have.
It's been longer than that. It's been longer than that. It's, you look
18
back.
years, I think, is the last Super Bowl they went to.
This is a team that
2002 would have been against the Bucs, right?
Yeah.
This is a team where their punter had more moxie than anyone else on their roster at a single point in time.
Marquette, baby.
Like, come on. Like, there's always something. There's always something. You can't have Crosby or Waller step on the field without the guys in the booth be like, depression. Like, it's the most Raiders shit, bro. It's a typical Raiders.
Well,
what's messed up is there's a couple of those players that are going to end their careers in silver and black.
It's definitely a culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, it's a culture thing. And I don't want to. I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid because we're all thinking about it. Rip off the Band-Aid of Henry Ruggs. Like that's a nasty thing that happened. to your up and coming star.
Yeah, but I think
If that doesn't happen, they don't trade Devontae Adams.
Well, it goes back further than that. I think it's it's ownership down.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, because you look at what
it's a Davis thing.
Yeah, you look at what they did, in certain drafts. That taking nothing but speed and no hands as a wide receiver.
Hayward Bay,
and then you turn around and they took the kid out of I want to say it was out of Clemson, defensive lineman that.
Oh my gosh!
They
took
Farrell.
Farrell was a dud,
they took
bro.
Jamarcus Russell. Boom! You just start naming these number one draft picks, and then
drafting Cleveland Farrell was holding an M80 in your hand and just sitting there, just like, I bet you don't think I'll hold it the whole time.
Just to make it worse, I need a GM. You know what? ESPN has this NFL guy that talks all the time. Mike Mayock should be a good GM. So let's go get him. Right? This is like Pat said. It's
Leatherwood David never made out of training camp. Yeah.
Right. But it's a culture thing, but it starts at the top. And then you have players, now you move the team to Vegas and what the NFL was scared about going to Vegas for. Now you're starting to have some of that stuff happen, not to the extent that the NFL thought it was going to happen, but that's where the Henry Ruggs stuff started, because, like Pat said,
field anymore.
Well, that's true.
The fact that we have a player and a coach on completely different sides of the country away from Vegas that are getting caught for gambling, I figured that it would have been this team that would have been caught first. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to happen at some point. All right, but still, dude, it's you're right, Gator. I love all those points. Where does Carr end up?
You remember when
Tampa.
Jets.
No.
That's good.
The more I think about it, I think Jimmy G could be at the Jets.
I think there's lots of good fits for the Jets, but I think Derek Carr is one of them.
I think Jimmy G finds his way. He keeps his ass in Cali.
Where?
LA. Rams.
I already told you who my bold take on who the starting quarterback of the Rams is.
Baker. I know.
It's Baker.
Well, see, here's the thing with the Bucs. They've done it before. That when they got John Gruden, they traded draft picks for a head coach. They're not afraid to go and this ownership group is not afraid to trade draft picks for a coach, or turn around and go, we'll sign. We may turn around and sign. I think he's on a 1-year deal, so he's a free agent at the end of the year. But we may try to turn around and sign Brady right after the year, just so that we can turn around and trade him to the Raiders, grab a draft pick, grab Derek Carr, and then turn around and go get Sean Payton. That would be a Bucs thing to go do.
I don't think that's happening.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be so good.
I can see, but I could see it.
Do a LeBron thing where anytime he switches teams, he's not going to let another team trade him to keep value.
Yeah, I see that. I very much see that. I very much see that. Card to the Colts QB wasteland.
Oh,
I don't think that his card is the Colts QB.
Let me ask you this, Robbie.
Huh?
Could there be a chance that he's a quarterback in Washington?
I've heard that. I've heard that, and I could see us. That'd be a very Washington thing to do, and we would do it for not a whole lot, to be honest. If we were,
he's still under contract.
Yes.
Yeah. It's either that or we're going, like I mentioned before, because Lamar's not fucking staying in Baltimore, dog. I don't think that he's staying in Baltimore.
But I don't think that's a Carr place.
It's either I think either it's Washington. I think it's either Washington goes all in on Lamar, or either we settle for Carr. But
here's why I don't. Okay, go.
But because we've already pulled the settling move before, I see us more likely to be like, no, fuck that. We're going all in.
Oh,
I would agree with you, except one thing.
Here, real quick.
Bezos is not the owner yet.
David,
not yet.
They're gonna fight hell to trade him.
Yes, they are.
Because here's why.
No, I know where you're going. I looked.
He's got a no trade clause.
Yeah, he does.
Derek Carr has a no trade clause.
Yep.
So they're going to fight hell. He's going to be able to pick and choose who he wants to go to if they decide to trade him. They're going to end up having that. They're going to end up having to cut him. It's what's going to happen.
He'll sit there and wait to get paid.
Well, that's what somebody said that to me today, that they'll just cut him. I'm like, that would be such a stupid move because of, it's
Jimmy G getting cut was going to be stupid.
Well, but this one here, Derek Carr having
worse.
Right, Derek Carr having a no trade clause. Jimmy G didn't have a no trade clause. Jimmy G was just on the 1-year deal. So he still had Derek Carr still has 3 years left on his deal.
Carr's situation is going to get uglier before it gets better. We're going to be strapped in for a long road there. George, we made it to the finals, boys. Let's go. I told you. We're just not playing Denver defense ever again. Don't do that. Don't do no shit like that again.
Not in week 16.
Not against the Chiefs. This week.
Well, they were a top 5 defense, and then Russell Wilson goes and turns the ball. Well, no, Russell Wilson turns the ball over twice in the first freaking
6 minutes
quarter. Yeah, and then the defense was on the damn field for 12 minutes out of a 15-minute quarter, and like, you know what? Fuck you. We're out of this. We're done. I'm not playing no more. And they quit.
Yeah.
Because they weren't getting no help from the offense or their damn coach. And that's why that's why the coach is gone. It's not because they got 51 put on them. It's because the damn team quit.
No pun intended, but definitely beat the Denver horse dead. Can't wait for Rumboyz interview, man. Jarrett Stidham to do magic. Jarrett Stidham starting this week. If Carr did enough to get you into a championship, and there's possibilities that is some for many people, is Stidham a direction that you pivot. I mean, it's championship week. Rosters are dried up.
Do not say
I'm in a one QB dynasty league in the finals. My two quarterbacks in the league, Kyler, Derek Carr. Somehow Brock Purdy is on waivers, and if nothing happens in the next 5 hours, I could be rocking with Big Dick.
There you go.
Brock. Yep, big cock Brock.
Yeah,
don't with the Brock Purdy.
We need Brock to do big things this week, right?
Listen, don't go and pick up Stidham. Stidham for his career is 33 of 61, 345, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Right, that's his career numbers.
Bro,
he's played San Francisco one time. It was in 2020. San Francisco's D was not as good as they are now. And in that game, he went 6 of 10, 64 in an interception. So please do not start Stidham for no reason.
There's a reason the Patriots fully passed on him and did not give him an opportunity. They kicked the tires on Cam Newton multiple times before giving Stidham.
They have this fucking weird belief in mac and cheese, and it is what it is. My brother had Tua at QB, so I dropped all my shit bench players and added every startable QB
That's
to
my
have
shit.
waiver priority. Now he's forced to play Bridgewater, which is great because now Tyreek Hill's value is slightly diminished for him. Exactly. This is where you gotta.
And
Well,
I'm gonna disagree with you once again. It is not. I guess on the surface it is. But it's overall it's not. Let me pull I'm pulling up
with the way that his league has been this year, bro.
Right. No, I get what you're saying, but I'm going to pull the number, and you'll probably be surprised at what the numbers come up to be. Because in week 6 is when Bridgewater played, and then that was against. Now again, it was against Minnesota.
Are you saying fantasy karma?
Oh yeah, of course. It's going up against New England. Miami has something to play for, right?
That's a real thing.
In week 6, Waddle, not Hill, but Waddle went 12 of 15 for 177. I'm sorry, no, that was Hill. Hill went 12 of 15 for 177 yards. Waddle, that same week,
Eh.
6 of 10, 129.
And on top of that, and to top that off, New England doesn't really have a whole hell of a lot to like really be playing for right now.
Bridgewater went 23 or 34.
They are still on the bubble.
They're
329.
still in the bubble.
Yeah.
If they beat Miami, they jump into the playoffs.
Right. Miami has
That's gonna be one of the
everything to
games
play
worth
for.
watching this week.
Yeah, and Miami's been on a slump.
And it is in New England.
Yeah. I wish it were colder. Marquise Goodwin's punk ass 0 points, lost by 6. I'm sorry, Silver Rapture.
I think it's supposed to be like 68 in New England this weekend.
Really?
That's what I thought.
We're
I mean, it was
up in the 40s here in
it
Michigan.
was 61. It was 61 yesterday, bro.
I'm in the 50s Thursday and Friday.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
40, it's 46 here in South Georgia right now, and we've been getting up to the mid 60s, late or high 60s. So it's going to be a fun weekend. It's not going to be like last weekend for sure.
I think Miami's getting it done with Mostert on the ground. Don't get me wrong. Like I would prefer Miami to win, and keep New England out. But I mean, shit. With my teams eliminated from the playoffs, I will not be setting any lineups. Don't care for third place. That's what I do. Like once I'm out, I'm like, all right. It was a fun league. Like I just make sure I don't end in last. But yeah, I'm like, thanks guys. This is how I am. It's just the way it is. I have other leagues I need to focus on that we're gunning for it. So like once I start getting mathematically eliminated out of certain ones, I start crossing those off. It's no longer caring. But I also playing an ungodly amount of leagues.
Just a little.
Yeah, my own fault starting him over Gabe Davis and his 11 points. I think you were here last week. I think we went the Gabe Davis route instead of Goodwin. Yeah. My Packers win versus Dolphins was so hyped. Packers came to play in the second half. Commanders starting wins makes me think the NFL wants the Packers as a wild card. I mean, honestly, I had that same theory. And the other theory that I had with us starting wins is us kind of, in a way, throwing in the towel. I feel. I don't know if it's us throwing. The team sat down and spoke. Which means that all options were definitely fucking weighed. All perspectives were taken into consideration. But as a fan, it's not the start that I want. Will I easily resent that if he goes out there and wins? Yes. So the only thing that I can do is just shut up and support my quarterback. That's it. This is not the time for me to sit back and question. It's the time we're like, we're clinging on to that 7 spot. We got a shot.
Did you get you a new meme yet?
We need to get in. Not yet. I haven't found anyone that were really good. Nothing good has came out after the Curtis Samuel jumping out of a plane joint. It's like
no. I'm talking about you've got the Heineke him.
Oh
yeah. Have you ain't got you a Wentz him or her yet?
Nah, he ain't him. Wentz ain't him. Like the fact that he did what he did prior to Nick Foles coming in and taking over for Philly to lead the rest of the way. I'm sorry, if Wentz probably stays healthy that season, he chokes in the playoffs.
Yeah, but it means something for Curtis Samuel.
We'll see what happens. So Rapture says, I messed up, bro. It's all good. But to be honest, I don't see us beating the Vikings. If we lose, then there's a 0% chance we can make it.
Hey, George. We beat the Cowboys.
Minnesota got a whole lot to play for.
Vikings.
Minnesota don't got a whole lot to play for.
Yeah, that's the other thing is what are the Vikings playing for right now?
They're hoping that Philly fucks up and gets home field advantage.
Yeah, they still got a chance at the 1 seed.
T-Law or Minshew this week. I'm
but
playing
to
for
be-
third still. Pays money back, break even.
T-Law. To be
T-Law.
honest, though, Dallas still has a lot to play for. They're still playing for the 1 seed as well. Because
if Dallas loses, if Dallas wins out and Philly loses out, Dallas jumps into the 1.
Yep. So,
If Minnesota loses 1 game.
Yep. So I mean, it's one of those things where you know that every team, while they're on the field, is just going to be looking up at that big ass scoreboard and that big ass jumbotron because this happens we've seen this since we were kids. Like,
hang on 1 second because
Not as
I
bad as the
heard
Sunday
this.
Night Football Eagles game.
Okay, the Dallas game, of course, is Thursday night.
Sorry, scrimmage.
They got the Dallas game is, of course, Thursday night.
Yeah.
The Washington game is at 1. I'm looking to see, and then the Philly game is at 4. I want to say, right?
yeah. And the Jags game is at 1. No. Yeah.
Vikings Packers is 4:30.
So he has time. He has
No,
time
sorry.
where he can.
Philly game.
can-
Philly game is at 1. The Cowboys game is Thursday night. So by the time Minnesota kicks off, they will pretty much know what the results are for what they have to do.
Yep, and that'll
Minnesota's-
determine.
Minnesota's in the same boat as the Cowboys, where because of tiebreakers, the Eagles need to lose out.
Yep.
I just wanted that clarified. So
Mhm.
if they were to get up to even in both at 14 wins,
Yeah, that won't. Yeah.
it
Yeah,
won't-
but
it-
I think if Philly wins
Excuse me.
tomorrow, if Philly wins this weekend, they
It's
clinch.
done.
Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
they
Yep.
clinched the 1 seed.
Hey, there's that dinner we were talking about. Just got delivered.
What's up, Taco?
Which is why Hurts is considering playing this week.
He's out.
Did he-
I think
did
it
they
came
rule
out
out?
today that
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah,
They declared him out.
Show it. Yeah, he's out. Show the high school fishing president meme.
I
I
think-
love that. I love the fact that those fans found that high school picture of Justin Herbert, printed it on a fucking flag, and draped it over the edge. Bro, how do you like the amount of poise that Herbert has to have the whole time? Seeing that, like when you're dropping back and not to have to be like, bro, I'm really about to drop dimes on you right here. Like you gotta love that. You gotta love that. Also in a 2 QB, Mike White or Baker.
Hurts is still listed as questionable.
Okay. Baker or Mike White?
Probably fucking Baker's still playing to prove himself.
Baker.
The Jets suck right now. Jets are bad. The Jets are so bad, and I really think that the Jets are bad because just how much quarterback turnover this season. Like you can't expect to win football games that way. You can't expect for a team to get along with each other and like each other that way.
Well, I mean, remember, Zach Wilson started with an injury. That's when Flacco was playing. Then
Still factors.
Right. Once you went to Wilson, he really did. Like, we watch players on that offense regress. A big person that we could point to is Wilson. When Wilson was Garrett Wilson was with Flacco, he was balling out. Conklin was balling out. And then once you had the addition of Zach Wilson back into the mix, they went down. The offense moved less. It was more stagnant. So you immediately started to see it. Now, it didn't immediately result in wins and losses because, like you were saying the other week, at that time, he had a winning record where some of the other quarterbacks didn't.
Yeah.
But you visibly saw the offense slow down.
Then you went to Mike White. Mike White got you one win. You know, yeah, because yep. So then you went to Mike White. Mike White gets you one win. then goes out there, goes back to being Mike White. You go back to Zach Wilson.
Because Mike White
Zach
was
Wilson,
hurt. Mike White
Zach,
was ruled,
yeah, exactly,
ruled out.
because Mike White was hurt. Zach Wilson goes out, has a bad game, decent game, and then bad game again because he knows that like he's teetering. He's like, okay, like what the fuck can I not do? So then halfway through that game, you pull Wilson, you go to the fourth stringer, Shriver, fucking whatever the fuck. This dude doesn't know the offense, so he's just running around.
Yes, but that was more effective than what Wilson was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, but that also like you're not going to be able to sustain that for fucking 4 quarters.
No, but the Jets are in must-win territory. Every game is a must-win.
You know, so like
playoffs. This is a team that doesn't think like, oh wow, we're playing great, and it is what it is. This team is like, we want to make the playoffs because of the media, because of the fans, because of just the accolades that he would get after everything Salah had. These guys want the playoffs. That's why they made the move. That's why they've made all these other moves. And it's going to be hilarious.
You can also overthink, but you can also overthink and overcalculate too much and move around too much. And inconsistency eventually rears its ugly head. For me, I'm going to go Baker for Silver Rapture's question.
I go Baker as well. I was talking about last week too.
I asked Gator this earlier, but am I playing Mike Evans, who has 3 dud games in a row, over Richie James or Hodgins? Could be a nice stack. Barkley with a receiver since they're playing the Colts. I'm playing Richie James.
No, I'm playing Hodgins. Hodgins has been the guy. Hodgins has been the one that over the last couple of weeks has been on fire. And if you're telling me of all these 3 games, especially with Tom Brady, check down Charlie, it's definitely Hodgins. Hodgins is pretty much getting a lot of volume. I forgot the tweet where I saw it. He was like, I want to say like he was like a wide receiver 2 over the past like 4 or 5 weeks. Let me pull up his numbers so we
the only thing I would warn you against playing against the Indianapolis Colts is they are hell against receivers on the outside. They are down to their third or fourth string nickel corner, you know, covering the slot or whatnot. But again, going back to what we were saying a little bit ago about, you know, teams having everything to play for. The Bucs have everything to play for. They can clinch it this week. If not, they have to win again next week and hope that Carolina doesn't win. You know, it's so many things for the Bucs.
But that's the same situation for the Giants.
Correct.
If you look at the Giants, they have the Eagles next.
Right. Here's the other.
This is a must-win game for the Giants if they want the playoffs.
Right.
And they want the playoffs.
Understood. But I'm going to go back to one question just to Silver Rapture about Mike. I would take Mike White just because they're playing against Seattle, and Seattle gives up the second most points to tight ends and to slot receivers.
Rapture also brings up the fact that Wentz and Mac Jones are out there. Baker or one of them. Baker, huh?
I like Baker because of what Robbie was saying is he's playing for his NFL career, and he actually has more talent than a lot of these other guys. So when I look at that situation, and we just saw that, compared to the options he's talking about, fucking Mike White. Hell yeah, yep. Baker's more talented than Mike White.
Yeah, but Baker's also playing against the Chargers, so
he is playing against the Chargers. He is playing against the Chargers, but I'm trusting Baker more than I'm trusting Mike White. Listen,
just because he waxed you on your back twice this year, and it just happens to be recency biased in your opinion. I don't know. I can't trust him yet.
Mike White had 10 points last week. Remember that.
Doesn't matter. He's got better weapons.
Wentz has to go out there and battle for a playoff spot, and that makes that significantly more of a tantalizing lineup. Whereas Baker up against. Whereas Baker playing against, I like the two teams having to battle it out for each other, having something to fight for. And I like that, and like chasing that versus Baker probably is going to be put on his fucking back.
Taco's argument that Baker is playing for his NFL life. I mean, Mike White's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But better
weapons. better weapons with Mike White.
He may have better weapons, but Baker is a better quarterback.
I mean, okay, this goes to
They're the same. I'm not doing that. They're the same guy.
They're not the same guy. They're not.
Baker.
The same guy.
Baker has a lengthier resume and still has yet to do anything in the NFL. Really.
I mean, he
I agree with you. I'm not saying no, but it's not. It's not like he was in fucking Cleveland, for God's sakes. When has Cleveland ever done anything ever? It's fucking Cleveland.
I'm pro Baker, and I'm sitting here looking at you like, what the fuck?
Dude, come on now. Like, that whole thing just fell apart at the end. He had them in the playoffs. He had them looking good. He didn't look terrible. They were thinking about him as the franchise quarterback.
Now that I'm seeing that Wentz and Jones are his other two options, I'm starting to lean more Wentz. And the more that you say dumb shit, the more I start leaning Wentz.
Dumb shit. I'm telling you, bro. It's the Browns. They ain't done shit. That's an organization you don't trust.
Jones, I don't think gets it done for you through the air or on the ground. They're going to be focusing on the running game there with New England, so that's why I avoid Mac Jones.
Plus, the offensive game plan is terrible.
Debating benching Gano. Seattle's kicker for Gano. Go Gano.
Yep.
Always Gano.
Go Gano. Jets threw that budget Taysom Hill guy in at QB and ran QB draw every play. No worries, Silver Rapture. Colts are horrible in the slot, though, and James is the slot guy. I can't remember if James is in my current starting lineup or not. I said it while I was taking a shit this morning, which means I'll set it again tomorrow. I think I have Richie James in that one. Hodgins looking beast. Richie James still burning the slot up also. When it's like with Richie James, it's like yo, the ball has to go somewhere. And he's just getting himself open and available.
Yes, you do have Richie James.
And if you look at
remember this, Hodgins in his last 4 games, 22, 7, 15, 15. He's been the guy.
Right, but he's on the outside. And that's what I was saying about, because if you look at what the Colts just did to Mike Williams was irrelevant the whole damn game until the very end.
Yards.
He was irrelevant the whole game until the very end, and that's why Keenan Allen was what he had 64 catches, 64 catches on 71 targets. I mean, it was ridiculous how much he was getting targeted. That slot is where you want.
But that's also Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is a fucking target hog.
If a team is susceptible to a certain point, susceptible to a certain point, you don't think that heading into that game,
but don't you think
the Chargers didn't already look at that?
But at a certain point, don't you also say when a guy's hot, he's hot, and they're game planning and getting him the ball, and he's emerging as the number 1 receiver on that team?
No. Stop.
There's also game planning. There's game planning.
He's not putting up number 1 numbers. He's not.
Nope.
He's not doing anything to say, "Get me the ball," or you will, or it's not going to.
No. I'm not saying that, but he's your number 1 option on offense for the Giants right now, as far as the passing game is.
It's Saquon Barkley and Daniel
Saquon Barkley is running the ball, but I'm saying passing the ball
and passing the ball,
wide receiver wise.
You start either of them. Honestly, I feel like you start either of them. Both will be profitable. Both will be profitable for you.
But you're starting
at least as a double-digit floor.
But you're going to start those over Mike Evans. That was the question. That was the question. Are you starting one of them over Mike Evans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, and I would probably throw out Richie James over Mike Evans. Mike Evans isn't giving me that production that heading into a championship
it all year.
Exactly, and it's a championship week, and I don't have time to mess around with that and worry about that and overthink that. If there's a guy who's having a hot streak that even at a solid 4 is out producing him, I'm taking that solid 4 over the guy that has not been producing.
And you know what sucks? That's the mathing, right? That's mathing. But come fucking Sunday, any fucking thing can happen, and it's a must-win game. And
Yes,
sure, Mike
anything
Evans
can
go out there,
happen.
but the math says right now, look at since week 12, 5, 9, 8, 13, 5. He's not been producing for you for a number of weeks.
That's
To
what we
sit there and
said.
say you think
we all
he's going to
agree.
get you 15, 18, it's kind of like he couldn't do it. He's a fucking big play. It's a division matchup. He could end up with some touchdowns, but the probability of it is less than likely.
Okay, I'm going to throw out a name that was a much better name last year, but is suddenly was found last week. Kendrick Bourne. I'd rather go
The
start
Bourne
Kendrick
identity.
Bourne over any of those Giants wide receivers. I think he has a good chance to house one.
Factor in that weather.
Giants
Oh wait,
have
it's gonna be
nobody.
nice in New England. It's gonna be nice
It's
in New
going to be
England.
fine in New England, but I'd rather start. I think you're more likely to find him on waivers.
What up, Albert?
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat, on that. You're more likely to find him on waivers than other people.
Yeah, I like that. I like that play as well. I don't mind a Kendrick Bourne play. For me, I'm more comfortable, I think, with James or Hodgins, just because you're seeing this Giants team find ways, even with the receiving core that they have, to get the ball out to them, and they're producing with it. So I think that's why I'm just a little bit more comfortable there, personally.
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust Kendrick Bourne. Although I will agree with Pat. He is available in 91% of leagues.
And there's a reason for that.
Like
But, you know,
But he just hasn't done it all year.
He just has been forgotten despite being a top 24 guy last year.
Well, I don't know
and then
that
all of a sudden
he's not getting targets. He's getting 5, 4,
that offense,
1. And then they've just changed the offense so much this year. But
yeah.
I will agree with Taco on one thing. This going to the Kendrick Bourne is going against the math of what we had just talked about with going with like a Richie James versus a Mike Evans, overthinking it. You would normally sit there and go, you start your studs, it's the championship, but your stud hasn't done it all year long. This guy, has at least been doing it, and then
exactly.
But yeah, I see where you're going with that, Pat, because that is if you're in a matchup where you are looking at Hail Marys, 100% go grab that dude, because like you said, he can house it. He can house 2 and have 140 yards and three receptions.
That's an interesting concept right there.
One thing that I want to point out, and those that play Dynasty and also redraft will be able to second this notion. When of course, all of us have pretty much, for the most part, we've all first started playing fantasy football in redraft formats.
Nope, did not do that. I started straight in the Dynasty.
Not Gator.
Jesus
Yes,
Christ!
That's the key word was most of us. Good job. You're a special fucking person.
He's like,
I started watching by watching the Two Towers. So
fucking nailed it.
Well, I mean, that's like most people. You say most people watched the Avengers in order. No, they didn't. They watched it how they came out, and they didn't come out in order.
No, yeah,
Just,
that's different. That's different. That's a different story.
Order.
But no, the point that I'm making here is most of us, we start off, playing redraft. After you play, redraft for a while, then, you kind of get into Dynasty. After a while, and after you've won like a couple of championships in both, you kind of start noticing, oh, here's where the two kind of really get to overlap and meet. And during like these last couple of weeks of like the regular season, heading in towards the startup of next season, that's where you kind of start noticing the overlay with the two. I bring this up to where this is the time and year to where the guys are going to be looking at for Dynasty next year. It's like, okay, do I keep this guy or do I trade him? Like, what did I do last year? This is when you kind of, remember how we found Gabe Davis, where it was like, oh shit, Gabe Davis just popped off for like four passing TD or 4 receiving TDs. We're just like, where did this dude come from? Like, where was he all year? and then boom, from there on, he's kind of been a thing, give or take, give or take. It's the exact same kind of phenomenon. Not everyone's going to pop out and just be a Jamar Chase right out the gate. But, maybe you find the next Gabe Davis here. Maybe, that's what we're witnessing with Hodgins, and so on and so forth. So maybe, no, you're not starting Mike Evans this week or you're not starting, some of your other studs that have helped get you here. But maybe you're starting the future stud that'll win you this year and also get you next year.
What happens if Carolina beats Tampa Bay this week?
If Carolina wins out, they go to the playoffs. So hey,
all right. This game though is going to be fucking huge, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they do it because the Panthers have been running the ball really well, and
because
if
they can't pass, they got goddamn Sam Darnold. What are you talking about? They've been running it. They have to. They got no other choice.
Hey, Sammy D has a.
I have the remove button, Gator.
You can remove me all you want to.
No, this is facts. Yeah,
I know. He knows.
He ran for a good touchdown, though. Even he runs.
Yeah, exactly. He ran for a touchdown, Gator. You got to give him credit.
Yeah,
George playing Evans in your experience has been more of a risk than not. So go with what you know. Your team has provided you the data to where you're able to assess and be like, yo, Evans, you can get the ring for me, but on the bench.
Darnold did nothing in that last game to lose them even points. So give me Darnold.
God damn it.
The crazy thing is that's going to come down to week 18 no matter what for the NFC South.
No, not if Tampa wins.
I don't think
or NFC South.
No, because
if Tampa wins, they split.
Right, they split, but Tampa has the better record in the NFC South than.
But still, they both have to win out in their final game, no matter what.
Well, they have.
Excuse me.
I have to look at it again because Tampa is up by a game right now, right?
They're up by a game right now.
I wish
that would put them. That would put them up by 2.
George, Tampa's defense is a lot. Tampa's defense is a lot because we're not fucking around with them fuck-arounds and playing Denver this week.
Yeah, so if Tampa wins, it puts them up by 2 in the division.
If
Carolina
Panthers win, Panthers still have to win out.
Correct.
Risk is absolutely 100% how you win. That and catching trends and getting hot at the right time. Really quick, yo. Cheers to me, cheers to you. Hey, to my bro Dro, RIP, my dude. This man, even from freaking up above, still ended up first in our family league, and it's him and our little brother Mikkel against each other, bro. That is, and Mikkel battled back and ended as a 6th seed to land into the championship. So excited for them both. Dilly, man, that is huge. Gotta make sure I shout that out. That is huge. That is huge. The man that helped invest in this YouTube channel when we first started, many moons ago. Dallas defense been letting me down. Swapped them out for Cleveland last week. Wasn't much better.
That shit.
Dallas will allow points. When you have a corner like Trayvon Diggs who is so good at catching interceptions but bites on routes so fucking heavy, shit's gonna happen. Babies are gonna be made. Like, that's just all there is to it. Yeah, yards are meant to fucking be gained against that man.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got a dip for the night.
All good.
Mike, fuck you. You're going down. I don't care if I start 0 quarterbacks or not this week.
Fuck you too.
You're going down.
Screw you, cockroach.
Mike does that with such a loving face. Do you see that? He's like, fuck you too.
You will find a quarterback, my brother. Trust me. You will find.
No, you won't, because someone's blocking his ass.
Bitch. That's why he had that face.
It's super flex dynasty. There's nothing. There's nothing there. Everyone I go to, like, ooh, Stidham. on Herm's team. Why?
Yes, Stidham has Herms.
Bro, you
Wait,
better
why?
stay up all night and make some fucking trades, dude.
No,
You better.
why
Trade
does
deadline.
Herms have Stidham when Herms is like 11th in the league? I don't know why.
Did he add him or did he just always
No,
have
he's
him?
had him
He's had him stopped.
since the start.
That's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
I've ran.
I mean,
into
that's
that
dynasty
everyone.
for you. That's dynasty for you, bro.
It sounds horrible.
It's
It's
awesome.
just it's gonna be fine, and I'm gonna still kick your ass because
Hey, I'm starting pretty in that league. Let's go, baby.
The best part about
Let's see.
Dynasty is being
I
able
hope
to trade your
Josh
pick.
Allen throws 6 picks.
Evans had a great game against Carolina earlier in the season. Had 14.5 PPR points, and that's with a drop 60-yard TD. Do you want to put yourself in that position again?
That's the wild card about it. Like
The thing is
It's
that Evans hasn't been
possible.
hot. The thing is that Evans
You're
hasn't
right.
been hot is the problem.
Yep.
That's the issue.
Yep.
That's the issue.
Yep. It's like you're at a slot machine and you know more than likely it's gonna bust, but there is a shot at the jackpot. So it's like, do you want to play that machine? That's the question. Your jackpot shot is probably what, 20%?
Couple spins away.
Yeah.
I'm starting Dallas this week. I think Micah is questionable. Should have went
Dallas?
Chargers D like Robbie said last week.
Bro.
I'd be in the show.
Me too. Me too. I started Tampa D over Chargers D last week.
I'm always here for you guys.
I started Dak over I started Cousins over Dak, and I lost by 3 points.
I mean,
Although, Robbie, did I not call you that fucking before the game? And I was like, I'm fucking scared Diggs is gonna fucking flop. I was trying to find a bailout at the last minute, and I couldn't, and that shit fucking burned me. If I could have got him out my lineup and got somebody else in, but I couldn't figure it out. And it's like I had that gut feeling, and you just like
it's when you know
hard to
you
go
know.
against the data, because it's like the data is Stephon Diggs is Stephon fucking Diggs, but
if you know you also know.
That's
If you know you also
What?
know. If you know you also know. Like there are certain times where like, hey, if I have no problems if someone goes against my tape.
Richie James. That was my fucking move. I was like, should I do it? I was like, I was tilting hard.
See, I ended up with Richie James in my starting lineup last week due to Lockett being out, and this week I was like, you know what, Lockett's supposed to be coming back. I'm gonna still keep Richie James in the lineup though. You know, I was like, you still got it. You earned yourself a starting spot. Like it's a championship game. You're up, kid. Fucking go get us a ring.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to throw these stats out there right quick. It was week 7. Tampa at Carolina. Tom Brady went for 290, 32 of 49. They did lose this game now. Chris Godwin was 7 of 13 for 43, nothing major. This is where Mike Evans, though, in that week was 9 of 15 for 96. No touchdown. If he got a touchdown, I mean, you're talking about major points there because he already had roughly 16 PPR points. That would be, I mean, it's a divisional game. That's my only thing is I have a hard time sitting him. I know what you're saying. 100% agree with what you are saying. I just have a hard time sitting him knowing it's a divisional game, knowing that there's that possibility. It's like Taco said, it only, you got $5 in a slot machine. You can pull it 5 times and $5 is gone. You can put $1 in that same slot machine, pull it 1 time and have $1 million going home.
That's the important thing right there that I need to know.
Horn is out. Horn is out. JC Horn is out.
It's probably a 20% shot.
If Horn is out, I'm willing to
Horn is out.
I'm willing to risk it to get the biscuit because Josh Norman can't keep up.
Yeah, I'll look at that. Go ahead and move on.
But
he's out.
You don't want to risk. You don't want to risk. At the same time, like here's what scares me is okay. JC Horn is out.
He had surgery. He's out.
Yes, JC Horn is out.
All right, let's put it this way. What is Mike Evans' floor? What's Mike Evans' floor compared to Richie James' floor is probably I mean, there's got to be a drastic difference in that, right?
Well, here's the thing, Gator. Let's look at it like this. Since
Hey,
week
I've
9,
been cooling on Mike Evans,
you've
bro.
had 2 weeks where Evans has scored more than 10 points. So he scored 9 points week 9 versus the Rams, 10.4 points week 10 versus Seattle, 5.1 points week 12 versus Cleveland,
I worry
9 points week 13 versus New Orleans, 8.4 points week 14 versus San Francisco, 13.3 points week 15 versus Cincinnati, and 5.9 points last week versus Arizona.
Yep.
That is a lower floor than even.
And George's in half-point PPR, so that shit's significantly less.
Yeah.
His floor is like 3 points. That's what he's done give or take in the last 3 weeks.
Somehow I missed that it was half-point PPR till just now, but
And then since
Bro,
what is it?
I'm with you guys. I am
because even when because in half-point PPR, even when he's getting the ball, he's not getting me the yak.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate on it, so I want to see.
Hard to bench Evans. It is.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you know that.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
George, you remember last time that we had this conversation? We were going through this, and I was like, "No, we're benching Evans," and we rolled with it, and it worked, and it worked, and it worked, and it worked.
I'm not saying it's not
the only reason that Evans ended up, the only reason why Evans ended up back in his lineup is because I can't even remember who the fuck got injured, who was going off for us.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying it's hard. It's hard to make that move.
I 100% agree. You have to sit Evans with what he's done.
Remember, Evans.
I had Julio Jones back in his prime when his last prime season with the Atlanta Falcons. And I remember we were on air and I was like it was like 2018. I was like, you're benching Julio this week. And everyone was like, why? I was like, he's not gonna cut it for you this week. I was like, he's gonna get locked the fuck down. Like it's done. It's done. And sure enough, I ended up fucking being right.
Yeah, because it's very possible that Evans gets the 4 targets, 1 catch for 5 yards like he did this past week, and then go into overtime, and then all of a sudden now he's got 25 yards, which not that big of a difference. But
and then you're sitting back looking at your look. Let me finish.
And then you got Godwin over there that's soaking targets. So I 100% agree with you. I'm just with Taco when he says it. It is a hard decision to make, but it was
once Jamal Williams cooled down, is what it was. That's what it was.
It's a championship game, so it's supposed to be a hard decision.
See, for me, I don't want to be sitting back after knowing like first off, it's like, okay, I already knew what I was going to get out of you in the first place. Second off, now I got to sit back if you cost me my championship. Like, bro, Josh Allen fucking or Josh Norman locked you up, bro. You got locked up by a dude who hasn't played football all year. I get that he was fresh.
But then to your point, this is a game based on the matchup. He technically should have a chance to go off. It's a division game, must-win game. Tom Brady does look for him in the red zone. The data tells you to go with the other people because of target share, because of what they've produced over the last couple of weeks.
The film also says it too. The film also says it. What are you talking about?
All of that, I'm not disagreeing with you. But a part of you knows the film that you've seen from Evans over the years. And you romanticize that. If he could do that one more time, like the little fucking Giants, all we need is one time.
Leafs. Like, yo, fuck that. Mike Evans already eliminated me. He's like, yo, fuck that. Buccaneers goes for 3 quarters until 3 minutes left.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even drafting Mike Evans in most cases, so it's completely different.
This man has 0 fucking Mike Evans shares and
0 Godwin all day, baby. PPR style.
Stop it. Look,
I went Godwin because he was cheaper. Like when you,
I went Godwin as well. That's why I'm in a championship.
All right, I'm gonna answer this question, and then we're gonna move on from the Mike Evans.
Yep.
George,
I'm ready to move on from it.
George, we're going Richie James.
I'm going Hodgins.
I'm going Richie James. Mike.
Richie James.
There we go. We're done with it. We're done with it. We're done with it.
As a slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Hodgins.
One final thing that I want to bring up. Derrick Henry being out fucked a lot of people. What are you doing about it?
I own 0 shares, so I'm not doing anything about it. I'm
laughing.
laughing.
PPR, so he's not pulling our target.
Yep. I'm laughing at all the people that soaked him right on up, in the first and second round, and I'm sitting there soaking up Jalen Waddle and Brandon Ayuk and Brandon Cooks, and give me the guys that are going to get targets, because that's what I play is PPR.
Who are we talking about?
Derrick Henry.
We're talking about Derrick Henry.
Oh,
and I will settle with my running backs of Leonard Fournette or Rashad White or Travis Etienne or Jerick McKinnon, and I know some of those guys are getting targets, but for the most part, they're also getting yards on the ground.
But also
that gets me good.
You have other guys who I kind of went with, which were Stevenson, Pollard,
yes,
Pierce. All these guys were late round guys that if you got the pass, because when you look at the way football has changed, but back in the day, it used to be guys like LT and Brian Westbrook who'd be around that could play 3 downs, that are going to get 25 carries, that are going to get 5-6 catches, that are going to get 3 touchdowns, that are your workhorse backs. That don't exist no more. That back that Brian Westbrook was is now broken down to 2 backs.
Who are you replacing with Derrick Henry?
For right now,
who do you got? You're only loyalty option.
If I had Derrick Henry and I had to go to the waiver wire because, that's your choice. Because
you need to pick up his backup.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going after Haskins. I'm not going to do it. Haskins hasn't
not
proven
against
anything.
Dallas.
Dallas, he hasn't proven anything. So here's where I'm going. I am going right over to Atlanta. I'm going to knock on the door and go, hey, buddy, since you want to run Tyler Algiers every chance you get, whether it's PPR or not.
There we go.
Tyler Algiers.
Now we're getting an answer to the fucking question. Damn it.
Now that Tyler Algiers has got the RB1 position there in Atlanta, dude went off. He's 50%, roughly 50% snap share right now, and he went off 139 and a tutty on 17 touches, 74 and on 18 touches against Baltimore, who is a stingy ass fucking running defense. So I'm going Tyler Algiers right there. Oh, look at there. And a non-PPR. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, non-PPR. Who do you flex? Doris Lee's ass. What's good, Doris? Non-PPR. Who to flex? Brian Robinson, Pacheco, Algier, Godwin, Judy.
I just answered that question because I will.
To me, this is easy. Is easy.
I would go Algier. What do you got, Mike?
It's a Three's company.
Like I said last week, man, he was like a must start almost last week. It's just the numbers were just screaming it.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's the thing: they're up against Arizona this week, which we just saw what Tampa did with 2 running backs on the ground and through the air against that defense in Arizona.
I was fucked up. Yeah, I was drunk. I was drunk Christmas Eve. I was fucked up. Let's see. So yeah, I think that we covered everything. We covered everything. We didn't make this too long, so folks should be able to like go back and watch. I agree with you guys. You need an option with the Derrick Henry news. I know like everyone was super pissed off about that this morning. I got a lot of messages. Tyler Algier, baby.
Even right now, after waivers ran today, 54% owned on Sleeper, Tyler Algiers. If you don't,
that's just opportunity. Well, the problem is in competitive leagues, this dude has been drafted.
So we were making it rain with 1s and 2s. We got
MJ makes it rain with 1s and 2s.
we got a end of the year stream in 2 days. Holy shit, I had to remember what today was. We have an end of the year stream in 2 days, so make sure you guys tune in for that. Rumboyz After Dark. Yes, good shit, George.
Good job.
So I can decide between him and Evans later. Good.
That's right.
Good. Bro, I'm gonna cry. Nah, bro. Well, it's all good. We love you. We love you. So end of the year stream Friday. I guess you could technically say tomorrow and Friday because we have football, but we're not live Saturday. I'm not streaming Saturday.
Is there football on Saturday?
Is there?
No, games are on.
No, there's not.
Day.
They're all on New Year's Day. Perfect. I will be streaming on New Year's Day for you guys. See. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're not doing
New Year's Eve.
Can't wait for Monday night's game though.
Yeah, New Year's. Yeah, we're gonna do Monday nights as well, and we'll do Sunday's games, and we'll do Monday's games.
Oh, Monday night's game's gonna be bomb.
Oh
yeah, there ain't. Yeah, I'm so happy there's no Saturday games because
someone's gonna get ratchet.
It's gonna be so insane. I can't wait.
Can we talk about this real quick? I just want to hit this for Sunday slate. This is how fucked up the NFL has us right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games at 1 o'clock.
Of course.
Okay, that's normal.
That's a lot of gambling. That's a lot of gambling.
Like
That's a lot of gambling.
1, 2, 3, 4 games at 4 o'clock.
Of
Yeah.
course.
That's
Yeah.
normal.
Stop it. Let's split these fucking games up. Let's do better.
They'll never split them even.
Right.
They'll never
Because
split them even.
It's not even close to even.
Are the
Too much
4
like
o'clock
that.
matchups pretty good?
Your 4 o'clock matchups are San Francisco at Vegas. Jets at Seattle. Minnesota, Green Bay. Okay. And then LA versus
Hey
LA.
man, we appreciate you, MJ. You a real one.
Those games have playoff implications.
He said college football playoffs, please.
Well, it's all because the West Coast teams will always play. West Coast home games will always be
4.
at 4 or at 1 for me, and then
Oh, bet. Yeah, having Burrow and Higgins to go off for you on a Monday. Like, you get ahead real good on a Sunday.
Damn. So, like, how many people, like, what is it like in your guys' area? Like, when the 1 o'clock game's over here, that's like, what time for you guys? Like,
I wake up at 10 a.m.
11.
10 a.m. is the start of football. So when people say, hey, I go to church and do my grocery shopping before football, no, we wake up, have breakfast, and eat and watch football.
Nigga, that's just like Saturday morning cartoons. Like,
It's 10 a.m.
Get them to fucking football.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Be
Yeah,
glad you don't live in Hawaii at 7 a.m.
exactly. That shit would blow.
Monday night football in Hawaii is at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but
God,
how about when they have a London game? You know, it's 9 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
6:30 a.m. for me.
Yeah, bro. We be up early as shit. We'll be trying to do. I have done that. I'll be in the shower like fucking like with my phone propped up, like I'll be watching a game, getting ready.
Stop. You ain't doing that. What you were doing is you are not sleeping. That's the problem. Is you are not sleeping. You're just up till the games are over.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes like when like London games are starting, like I'll still be up from partying the night before, and I'll be like, "Fuck, I gotta get on there." And, like I'll call up Mike. I'm like, "Yo, I need to speak a 2-hour nap."
6 o'clock.
I'll say this one thing though. The number one matchup that I want to see in the playoffs is the Bengals versus the Jaguars in the first round. Hey,
we have a show Friday.
That's what I want to see. I said this before. It's
all right, I get that. Bro,
cheers to you. All your boys, rum girls, what you to do? Dilly dilly.
Fuck.